You're tuned into the Visibility Strategy live stream with Amy Nubson and Christina Vidovich, where strategy meets storytelling and confidence takes the spotlight. Join us every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern as we help you set sail on your visibility journey. Hello, everyone, and good morning to you, Amy.
Good morning to you as well, Christina. This is so much fun because we love this topic, even though we're a little bit late starting this morning. But this topic is dear and very important to both of our lives and what we're doing and creating in the world today.
Absolutely. And with our conference coming up in Minneapolis, June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and we know you want to be in that room because there are some amazing women coming from around the country to be in that space. And one of the major things that we know that happens when speaking is the nerves that can come in. So that is today's topic, public speaking and nerves.
And that, and everybody's like, oh, you look so confident. Or people are like, that, how do I get there? I'm like, we're all nervous. There's that moment where just before you step on stage, that just goes, oh, okay, I can do this and go, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's it
Yeah,
doesn't matter what kind of performance you're doing. It doesn't matter public speaking, if you're playing a piano at a recital, like, there's always that little bit of nerves. And
yes.
why? Why do we have those nerves, Christina?
Ooh, because we care about the message that we are trying to deliver. It
Yeah.
is so important to us that it is radiating out from us, and we wanna make sure that our delivery is on point, that our audience is understanding the message that we wanna give, and we don't wanna tongue trip on ourselves to get out the right words so that it lands with our audience.
Yeah, and when we care about our message, it's a lot harder to deliver it, right? It's different when you're a kid and you're giving like a book report. You're like, "Oh, this is what's happening. I don't really care." But when it's something that you want to make sure people hear correctly, there's a lot of responsibility in what you're talking about. So those nerves do creep up inside us. And then we go, okay, but what we want to achieve is so much bigger than this. It's
Mhm.
bigger than the nerves. It's okay. And there's techniques that you
Yes.
can do to help those nerves. What have you used, Christina?
Ooh, that's if anybody was in the room with me last October for that conference, they heard the big "woo," and I'm doing it quietly today, but it was the adrenaline was running so fiery through my body, like, I felt like I was running a race, and it felt so good, but it was just so much energy within me that just giving those big yelps to release that energy felt good to me of like, yes, this is happening. This is in the moment. We are in the room. And it was taking it in the positive light versus being afraid of the light.
Yes, I think that's really important too, is not trying to like shame away those nerves or to like go, this is so bad. I'm a terrible speaker because I'm nervous to come out here. That is not true at all. It just means you're alive. You're
Mhm.
excited. There's this, energy rushing through you, like you said, like that. There's it's inside your body, right? And there's times where we just have to let it go, like the whoop, maybe some people like I've seen people just jump up and down,
Mhm.
behind stage, and they're like, "Okay, yep, got it." And you're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Now I get it." I'm
Yeah.
not a jumper, but, I've seen it so many times. But we just need to have our ritual that we do that helps that nervous system calm down enough for us to go, "Now we're ready."
Yes. Yes. How about you, Amy? What are some techniques that you use when you speak on
Yeah.
stage?
A lot of times it's music, like, it's actually the vibrations of my voice, so singing out loud, if I can be in a space where I can sing out loud, also warms up my voice because I have a very quiet voice just naturally, so I need to warm it up. And so that helps with both of it. So it gives me more of that, gives me some air in my lungs and it's like deep breathing for me. So it's kind of doing all of it at the same time. It's releasing, it's warming, it's breathing, and it's a little bit of movement because eventually I'm dancing along with it. So that really helps me, right? So if there's music going on and I'm like, yes, okay, music helps me greatly.
I
Um,
I love that. I love that because when I'm getting interviewed on a podcast, that is actually what I do as well. It kind of sets the mood, sets the tone of like, okay, I want to be in a positive space. I want to be like in this energy. And it's like there's certain music that just absolutely, you know, sings out to me. Like right now, I want to fly high. It's just what just went through my head.
yeah, and there's different songs for different reasons. Some pump me up, some warm up my voice. So I have a playlist actually that I go through. So I love that.
Yeah. And
You
I know
know,
there's a lot of people who do the box breathing techniques.
yes, there's a lot of people. I usually only use the box techniques when I'm like recovering. I don't know why, but I use it all the time when I'm like either sick or I've had surgery. Like I don't know why, but that's what when that pops in and I start using that. But it is a really interesting breathing technique.
Mhm.
Have you used that technique?
You know, I don't like the holding of my breath. I like to do the slow in and slow out just because it allows me to regulate my heart. And when I'm just doing the slow in and slow out, that absolutely I can feel myself so much better. And like, and I'll do even the 8 count in, 8 count out for me. And just like, okay, just bring yourself back to the calm because it's amazing how excited that we get that is beyond our head, you know?
Oh, yeah, because our body is involved in this, right?
Mhm.
And that's why I do like when I'm in pain, that's when I do the box breathing because it helps me kind of reconnect things,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And that's what's kinda neat about these techniques. You can use them in different reasons or different times, and I don't think box breathing would help me when I'm going on stage,
right. Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Uh,
Yeah, so what works for you is what works for you.
Exactly, and that's exactly the same words I was gonna say is you have to find what works for you. And it's now that you put it too, I have seen people wear headphones before they go on stage. Just put them on there just in their space until somebody taps them on the shoulders, like, get ready to go. Because I think, it's getting back into that space of us,
Yeah.
because we unintentionally will put that pressure into ourselves. And again, yes, we want to get across that message. We care about our message, but it's also trusting that it will land well. And when you have the right speaking coach who helps you prepare for that space.
Yes. Being prepared is a really big part of it too. If you decided to wing it and you're getting on stage, yes, those nerves may be even more because you're like, "Oh gosh," or you're presenting something brand new for the very first time.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
more you frequently tell that story, the easier it becomes. Even if you make a mistake, you're like, "That's big, no big deal, I got this." But those first are a little bit more, right? And eventually they'll get less because you're comfortable with it. But the preparation does matter, and what we had talked about earlier, the preparation of ourselves matters.
Mhm.
Putting that state of, like, the prior to, getting that all ready and being really good with what you're doing, and then the moment before, 'cause that's
Absolutely.
what you're doing is you're prepping you.
Yes, yes. And we're gonna do our mid-roll dance break to talk about our visibility accountability group. That's every Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, where we will dig deeper with you in the room on a Zoom about this particular topic. Today is our public speaking and nerves. But when we get back from this little dance break, what I'd love to talk about is the recovery when those nerves trip us up in our speech. What can we do to calm ourselves back down when we're on the stage?
Love it.
Share your story, own your name, step in the light, ignite your flame. Show up, shine out, it's time to be heard. Flip fear into power with every word. Visibility, accountability.
And we're back. So, I think there isn't any one of us who have been on a stage or been in a space, even from school age, where you got up and you spoke and you went, oops, I just skipped over an entire part. Oops, I forgot what I was supposed to say next.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it happens to everybody, and it's happened definitely to me multiple times throughout my life, right? And usually those are the ones you kind of remember most. Like, oh gosh.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh. But those are usually the moments that people don't remember,
Right,
right? They
right.
don't know what you didn't say.
Exactly, exactly. And it's so interesting because the same thing carries across in dancing. You have a routine, and I've done it myself and I've watched others do it, where you suddenly skip to the next section. Oops, I forgot, went back. Nobody knew that it was or wasn't supposed to be in that space. The only person who knew was you.
And
And
your
that's
partner from that situation.
exactly, exactly. And the beauty of it is if you go with the flow and you don't stop, nobody knows. It's those abrupt jars. Then everybody's like, what's wrong?
Exactly. You're the one that gives the cue to the people, the audience, that are watching you. And if you get choked up, I always said that when I coach people, if you're getting highly emotional, it is okay to take a moment and take a breath and even just recenter yourself right on stage. And
Mhm.
when I tell everybody, I'm like, do not apologize for that at all. Instead, be gracious and go, thank you for giving me a moment, and then continue.
Yes.
Appreciate the audience for giving you that space, because they're usually in the audience. Say almost everybody there is wanting you to succeed, and
100%.
yeah, and they're gonna be like, oh, look how much they care about what they're talking about. Like, so it is okay. I've had to do it myself, and sometimes I take a pause and a breath, and I'm like, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Like, and I need that moment. Just take a breath. There I am. So
Mhm.
pause is your best friend in a speech.
Yes, I love that. I love that because it's just going with the flow.
Yeah.
And I think about a child. I love to like bring up the innocence of children because even if they're telling a story and they forget about what they were talking about, they'll continue to just make it up as they go. They're not apologetic of like, "Oop, I lost my place," and, looking at their cell phone. "Oh, oh my gosh, forgive me, I forgot." They will just keep going. And that's the beauty of it because what are they doing? They're speaking from their heart and their imagination.
Yes, and they're in the moment. That's the other piece. They're there. They're actively participating in the conversation. They're not trying to remember words to words to words. That's not how I speak. I speak from the heart, and I know Christina does too. So when we do get in those moments where we're caught, we can flow back out because we're not on a specific word by word speech. And when you want that perfectionism, that makes it a lot like stricter, and it's harder to hold
Yes.
because somebody then actually does know your word for word. And I flashing. Yeah. I love my camera.
Of your own dance party.
Yes. Oh gosh, yes. And even when we were in Santa Fe, one of the speakers is like, "Oh my god, I forgot a whole section." I go, "Nobody noticed. Nobody knew." And one of the other speakers that were going in later in the day, she's like, "I'm so nervous, I can't do this." I go, "Did you notice Marty missed a whole space?" And she told me that, and she's like, "No." "Did you like her speech?" She's like, "Yeah, she was amazing." And I'm like, exactly.
Exactly.
That's the key. Nobody knew. And if you just be your dynamic self, it doesn't matter. I missed a whole resolve of a hook. Not one person caught it. I caught it 5 hours later. I'm like, oh, I never said. Oh my gosh. But I was in the moment. I was dynamic. I was who I was, and it didn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that. You know, and another thing I've seen with those nerves, and I've seen this happen to a couple people, one who is a seasoned speaker to someone who doesn't like even speaking in front of a room, is the physical shaking and
Yes.
how that can show up too. And, you know, one piece of advice that I have is like, speak to one person. Just like they used to say is like, imagine the audience naked. Well, I can't do that, but
No.
I'd be running out of the room. Um, but just speak to one person, the one person that you want the message to land to. Whether you lock eyes with one person in your audience or you imagine it's that one person.
Yes. Yeah, you could be talking to your best friend, your spouse, your, you know, your child even. Like if that's who you're imagining because that's safe to you, fantastic. It's okay. And also, if you're in the audience, I've had people come up to me as speakers. I don't know. They're like, thank you. And I'm like, what for? You know, and they're like, you were the face that was the safest. And I just focused on you whenever I got nervous. You were always smiling. You were always engaged. You were always paying attention. And you made me feel comfortable on stage. I'm like, oh, okay. You're welcome. You know, so also as an audience member, be that person. Remember, they need you just as much as you need them. The message is two ways. So
Yes, I that because yes, when you are in the room too, think about that. Think about being the active listener. You know, you can sit there with your resting face, or you can actually put that smile on and show some interest because that little smirk, that little smile, that little grin will help the
yeah,
person on the audience. So think about that as well when you have that turn to sit back in the audience. Those little things that can just bring those who are on stage down.
yeah.
And you know, I totally believe in the reciprocation of things. You'll do it, and then suddenly you're going to notice it being done back to you.
Exactly. And it takes time as a speaker to look, you know, you're supposed to actively participate with the room and keep moving and looking. In the very beginning, if all you can do is focus on one or two people, great. As you get more comfortable, it'll be easier to flow around the room. And I was like, no way am I going to be able to do that. And now I'm like, I don't even know now how not to do that. It just becomes part of the experience.
Yes, yes. And that's what I love. You know, it's just like nobody is expecting you to come out of the gate knowing these things if you haven't had the opportunity to practice. If you haven't spoken in a small room or run a workshop yet or been on podcasting, it is practice to speak and to publicly speak and get over those nerves. And look, even if you've been speaking and I know this from a few of my friends in podcasting as well, going audio to suddenly video, there's now a new jump. And the nerves kick in a different way than it was like, oh, it's just my voice. Now it's me.
And then you go from the jump of recording and editing to live, right?
Exactly.
New
Exactly.
jump. Yes. There's always a new jump. There's a bigger stage. There's a new experience. There's a new audience.
Yes. And this is where I want to invite you into the room to join Amy and I in Minneapolis because we have Story Sparks, which is our open mic. And I love this. Amy, tell them about that.
Oh, so what I love about Story Sparks is it's in the moment, but what we're doing is creating these, well, helping you with your story. We'll be having a workshop, but the idea is you get to participate and show up. And it could be about anything. It could be about your most favorite memory. It could be talking about what you do. You know, so as you present yourself to the world, how do you want it to be? The idea is just to get comfortable with the idea of a story and what details matter, which ones don't. And there's techniques and there's different ways of doing it. And once you learn it, it's so easy and you can't unlearn it. And it just becomes natural, part of your conversation where story becomes part of your toolkit. And that's what Story Sparks is, that first moment to just learn that technique and get on stage and get an opportunity to share your story.
Yes, and what I love about it too is you have to be in the room to join us. There is no pre-signing up, there's no application for a speaker, there is no favoritism. It is being in the room and signing up to say, I want to get up. I'm feeling like this is the time for me to share the story. So that is the other thing that makes it so special.
Yeah, because I mean, these stories could be laughter, it could be funny, it could be dramatic, it could be sad. The thing is, it's what you get to choose. There's no curriculum, there's no outcome, there's no, this is the purpose of it. The purpose is just to be yourself on the stage and just give you that space to just try and be.
Yes. All right, my friends, we look forward to you joining us for the accountability group tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central.
Share your story. Own your name. Step in the light. Ignite your flame. Show up, shine out. It's time to be heard. Flip fear into power with every word. Visibility.